Liam sat by the window, watching the rain hit the glass. It was another evening spent alone. He could hear the distant laughter of neighborhood kids playing, but he didn't join them. Not anymore. Ever since his father had passed away a year ago, Liam had felt like a shadow of himself. His mother did her best to take care of him, but he could see the sadness in her eyes, too. The house felt emptier without his father's booming laughter, without the warmth that once filled their little home. Most days, Liam spent his time at school in silence, avoiding conversations. The teachers were kind to him, but he hated the pity in their eyes. He wished things could go back to the way they were. That day, as he walked home from school, the sky darkened. A cold breeze sent a shiver down his spine, and he pulled his hoodie tighter. He was taking his usual shortcut through the alley when he heard a faint whimpering sound. He stopped. The sound was soft, almost drowned out by the rain, but it was there. He turned his head, scanning the alley. At first, he saw nothing but discarded trash and broken crates. But then, in the farthest corner, something moved. A small, injured dog lay curled up, its fur soaked and matted with dirt. One of its legs looked swollen, and it whimpered in pain. Liam's heart clenched. "Hey there, little guy," he whispered, stepping closer. The dog flinched but didn't try to run. Its eyes, deep brown and filled with fear, locked onto Liam's. Without thinking twice, Liam shrugged off his school jacket and carefully wrapped it around the shivering pup. He lifted the dog into his arms, feeling the slight tremble of its weak body. "You're safe now," he murmured as he carried the dog home. When he reached the house, he pushed open the door with his foot. "Mom," he called. "Come quick." His mother appeared from the kitchen, a frown on her face. "Liam, what's going?" Her eyes widened as she saw the bundle in his arms. "Oh dear. He was hurt, Mom," Liam said, his voice urgent. "I couldn't just leave him there." His mother sighed, rubbing her forehead. "Liam, we don't know if he has an owner, and we can't afford to take care of a pet right now." "But, Mom, look at him. He's just a baby." "I'll take care of him, I promise." She looked at the injured pup, then at her son, at the desperate hope in his eyes. She sighed again, softer this time. "All right," she said finally. "But he's your responsibility." Liam grinned. "I'll call him Max." That night, Liam cleaned Max's wounds, gave him warm milk, and made a small bed beside his own. But Max had other plans. The moment Liam lay down, Max struggled to his feet and limped over, curling up beside him. Liam chuckled, stroking his soft fur. "Good night, Max," he whispered. For the first time in a long while, Liam didn't feel lonely. Max healed quickly under Liam's care. Within weeks, his limp was gone, and his playful energy returned. He followed Liam everywhere, waiting outside his school, running alongside his bike, and even sitting beside him while he did homework. Liam had never been this happy before. One afternoon, as they walked to the park, a group of older boys approached them. "Look at this loser," one of them sneered. "Still hanging out with that stray dog?" Liam clenched his fists. "Leave me alone." One of the boys reached out to shove Liam's shoulder, but before he could touch him, a deep growl filled the air. Max stood in front of Liam, his body tense, his teeth bared. His brown eyes were sharp and fearless. The boys hesitated. "Geez, fine, keep your stupid dog," one of them muttered, backing away. As they left, Liam knelt beside Max and scratched his ears. "You're my best friend, Max," he said. Max wagged his tail and licked Liam's cheek, as if saying, "I'll always protect you." And from that moment on, Liam knew that no matter what, he and Max were inseparable. It was the worst storm Liam had ever seen. Thunder rumbled like an angry beast, and rain poured in heavy sheets. Liam and Max were running home from the store, dodging puddles and trying to ignore the lightning flashing across the sky. Then, out of nowhere, a car came speeding down the road. Liam barely had time to react. The headlights blinded him, and then, impact. Darkness swallowed everything. When he woke up, the hospital room was silent except for the steady beeping of a monitor. His mother sat beside him, holding his hand, her face pale. "Liam," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "You're awake." Liam tried to sit up, but pain shot through his body. "Where's Max?" His voice was hoarse. His mother looked away. "Liam, we couldn't find him." His chest tightened. "No, he's out there, Mom. I have to find him." Despite his injuries, the moment Liam was discharged, he began searching. He put up posters, checked shelters, and called Max's name in every street. But Max was gone. Far away, Max woke up in an unfamiliar place. His body ached, and his heart pounded with fear. Where was Liam? For days, Max searched for him, sniffing every street and alley. But nothing smelled like home. One day, he collapsed near a stranger's house. An old man named Henry found him and took him in. "You're lost, aren't you?" Henry murmured as he cleaned Max's wounds. Max stayed with Henry for months, but his heart was never at rest. Every night, he stared at the horizon, longing for the boy he loved. One morning, as Henry opened the gate, Max didn't hesitate. He bolted into the distance. Years passed. Liam, now 18, still searched for Max. One evening, he sat on a bench in the park, staring at the sunset. "Where are you, Max?" he whispered. A stray dog passed by, and for a moment, Liam's heart raced. But it wasn't Max. Still, he refused to give up. Then, one evening, Liam heard barking, familiar barking. His heart pounded. He turned and saw a dog sprinting toward him, tail wagging wildly. "Max?" Liam's voice broke. Max leaped into his arms, licking his face frantically, whimpering with joy. Tears streamed down Liam's face. "You came back. I knew you would." People in the park stopped to watch. Some clapped, others smiled. A love that had been lost for years had finally found its way home. That night, as they lay in bed, Liam whispered, "I never gave up on you, and you never gave up on me." Max sighed happily, curling closer. Their love had survived time, distance, and hardship, proving that true bonds never break. And this time, they would never be apart again.